cards here. Going to bring you a little snapshot. Been through the fire but didn't get burned. That's like the father presented as a consuming fire to Mashush, and the bush didn't burn. What? So there's fire that doesn't burn. What? Supernatural fire or supernatural protection. So here we have the animal kingdom, and they have messages for you, the animal kingdom. Tuning into this vibration, this life force. Right? You know how animals can hear a different octave than us? They can sense danger coming. They can sense change. That's why they're called watchdogs. And cats know people, let me tell you. Cats will walk away from a negative energy. They don't have to explain themselves. They own Reiki as well. They own Reiki life force. They love that. And they can bring it to you. So let's have a look here. We'll do a little snapshot here. Smoother roads ahead, like a smoother path that you cannot yet see, has been formulating in the last 72 hours. So it depends, because some of us are not cultivated in faith or patience. And when we display impatience, it actually slows down, has the opposite effect. It doesn't fasten things up, it slows things down. Because you're in effect saying, I'm going to create this universe. And it's like, no, you're a part of the universe, the emperor. So we're going to do it a bit differently. We're doing a divine feminine on the left, divine masculine on the right. So this is a collective reading. And here's the emperor here. So in this deck, look, he's been storing up. Can you see that? Is that? Yeah, that's all right. So welcome in. We're going to get into it here. This is a structure and organizations that are important right now. Don't be afraid to take on a leadership role, as you have much wisdom to offer. So wisdom is knowing the right words to say at the right time to make things work for you. So that's what an emperor is. He can oversee. So an emperor's got two qualities here. So he can go into the micro, and he can see how the little details are demonstrated down here on the third dimension in our reality. He can also see, like, it's like going back out and zooming out and seeing the big picture overall. How does that affect? So what the enemy's tried to do is keep both of us, divine masculine and feminine, in the small, minute details that don't even matter, where there's no love and no peace. There's no joy. And you're cultivating this. So this is divine masculine here, the king of water. He's very emotional, but obviously he's moving a bit slow. But he has in his inheritance, he's got his crown of salvation. So you get 2 crowns that are available. There's 7 crowns to get. So divine masculine has his crown of salvation. At this time, it's very important that you communicate clearly, be objective and unemotional, and act as professionally as possible. If you seek advice, seek out the most experienced expert you can find. So when you see this the king of winter. Oh, it's the king of swords. I'm thinking he's the king of water. So intelligent, impartial, respectful, unemotional. This is the emperor. He's like, I can see how this is not working. That's all. It either works or it doesn't work. The emperor's very clear on that. He doesn't get into indecision about that. He doesn't get into emotions about that. Like, I know it doesn't work, but they need me. He doesn't do that. He's like, no, if it's not working for me, it's working against me. The emperor's very clear on that. Then he can come in and actually clear the details out. And he can see now that he was kept in the small details of life just to run out his life clock. His whole life. So stepping into the King of Winter, it's like he's the judge and jury in his own life now. He understands what he will and won't accept. Oh, I nearly put the bluebird on the thumbnail and I said no. So, you know, the best of us can reject our own intuition most of the time. I do. Your plans will work out well, bringing you happiness, prosperity, and success. You'll garner the recognition for your accomplishments you so richly deserve. I love the bluebird. This is hummingbird, even medicine. The sun is the most positive card in the deck. Look, he's the High Priestess. This is it. Check these cards out. Aren't they stunning? The owl is bringing the message at the High Priestess moon. When the moon's like that, that's like the High Priestess energy. That's when the world between worlds, there's a express post delivery. So the Father tells us that's the Sabbaths, and that's like the new moons and the full moons, they're entry points for your prayers to be sent in express post delivery. But this is coming to you. So this is Divine Feminine getting a download. What does it say? This is a time of pause and reflect. We did that. Not to take action. Trust in your spiritual gifts, as nothing is hidden from your divine intuition. So this is, you're getting, you're about to receive evidence, right, in front of you, in your reality, that you spiritually or intuitively picked up on. We're going to see what that's about. That's about your new beginning. That's about Divine Masculine being free of something here. At 0 point, starting again, the dreamer. You are starting a new adventure. Wow, run free and take a leap of faith. See, there is such a thing as like the timing. And I know we hate hearing about divine timing, I always did. But now you look at divine timing as in it's the energy placement. And there is such a thing as missing the gateway, missing the portal. Yes, it will come around again. It will be more intense, so you get it. Right? But I feel like that was a final gateway that we did the eclipse, and people are out. Like anyone who's rebellious of the union, right, has been turned back. They would have been burned in the fire, is what I'm hearing. Oh my gosh, look at this. That's Divine Masculine. Check it out. Look at that. What is that? An electrical current? Ram. Occasionally you may experience clashes with others. Oh, it's a clash. If you decide the matter is worth your energy, then do what you can to minimize the conflict without sacrificing your goals and beliefs. So he's standing up. Look, he's had to headbutt somebody. Headbutt. Or he's about to. This is in the future. That's right. So this is Divine Feminine, following her intuition, receiving the downloads in quiet, in rest, because it's a time for a new beginning here. This is like being transported to a new timeline, a new land. And here is Divine Masculine. We'll have a look at what that's about in a minute. Look, the world under the dreamer. This is like the close of that cycle I was talking to you about. And it gets really, really slow, the vibration, as you close this cycle. That's why the last month has been like dragging. It's been so like testing our patience, testing our faith, right? Testing your fear of standing in the fire. And now you realize, I completed that cycle. Congratulations. Well, it says it. Congratulations on successfully accomplishing what you set out to do. You've made it through the challenges, the fire. Wow. And incorporate the lessons life affords you with grace and courage. Go, did you learn that? Yeah, because it like got so tight in this last season, like think of concentric circles, and the lesson has to be learned. So it will come around faster, like every month. So it starts off with every 12 months, then it comes into every month, then it's every week, then it's every day, then it's happening really close. And then it happens in all different directions until somebody gets it. And I'm getting that this is divine masculine standing up against himself. Look at that. That's almost the high priestess. Look at the moon. This is the womb of the feminine. This is the feminine energy that gives birth to new life. This is incubation in the womb. It's important to trust your intuition. Even if you're unsure of what's happening, all will be revealed soon. So worry is unnecessary. See, that's what's saying by the worry can actually slow it down. Because in you receiving what your intuition is telling you, there's no worry there. Like your joy is about to be full. Claim it. Going from 0 to 21, that cycle's done. It's like jumping a timeline here. This is what you've done, Divine Feminine. You've closed things out. You no longer are being able to be drawn back into a negative cycle. So there's somebody or even a group of karmics in your past that were trying to hold you back. Renewal. This is like the germination of the seed that was planted. This is where you wrote down your goals. This is anybody who was at the Heart Members Lounge when we first started. A shout out to Courtney, Lynn, and Heather Montgomery, should I say your name, who've been with me from the beginning. These manifestation seeds are now going to break forth, right? And they're going to be manifest because you planted them. Now, it's so funny because I talked to God, right? And I said, that Sagittarius reading was 2 of Cups, 10 of Cups. I know it was a month ago, but like that's the outcome that you gave us. So it's so hard to stand in it. That's what I was saying in the last reading, to stand in, like you know that's coming. So what has to happen between now and the 2 of Cups and the 10 of Cups is everything that's not of love has to be eradicated, released, identified. It's just awareness. And you don't know how long that's going to take. And that can bring up the worry and the doubt and the fear. And it slows down the renewal. Isn't that cute? I see you all looking at me. So cute. Renewal. That would be the death card. So you got the Fool, 0, the World, 21, and 20, the renewal. Oh, is it judgment? God said it's judgment. No. Number 20, yeah, it's judgment. No, I thought, yeah. So then there's the awakening. Divine Masculine's awakening. Can we have a hallelujah? Our hands in the air. So he's been fighting himself. This has been an inner battle. Sorry, I don't know why I'm laughing. And you're over here ready, clear? Whenever you're ready, maybe next moon. We'll see. We'll see what the cycle brings. What else have you got to clear out? He's like, no, nothing really. I just got to slap myself around here. This is about choosing your battles, getting your priorities set. He's waking up. Look, he's looking at things from a different perspective. Do you love that card? He's like, well, if I look at upside down and look at it like a bit sideways, look at things in a different way and all will make sense. Don't worry if your prayers or progress are being halted temporarily. Things will soon shift and start moving again. That's that stillness we felt. So in that stillness, this is a masculine awakening. This is epic. This is like a collective awakening. You know, masculines, they trigger each other, or activate, I should say, each other. The only way that this is going to occur is if the divine masculine speaks up for himself. He's got to cut out things. Like just before I came on this reading, I thought, wow, you've got to cut out, like some masculines have to cut out their mother, their father, their siblings, and their boyfriends, and their karmics. Like that's just like, bye. You know, that's like a restructure, they call it, in an organization. There's a total restructure. That's how they would present that your job doesn't exist now. This is what they did where I worked. They had a restructure and they got us all into the office and they put the jobs in the restructure up on the board, and some people's jobs weren't there. They weren't in the restructure. They're like, oh, so if you don't see your job on the board, you need to book a meeting. I was like, is this mine? Is this my job? Is this my job? Am I this? They're like, yes. They're like, yeah. I'm like, well, you're lucky to have me. That's what I thought. So here we go. There's an awakening here. This emperor has been collecting wisdom and he's cut out a lot of people. Right? Look, you're the queen of winter. You're the one who made him do it. That's why I'm telling you it's the tuning fork. You think it's the masculine. We give all the power to them. It's like, nah, you're the magnetic one. You're the one that gives birth. Without you, there's no future generations. And that's the whole agenda that we're living in now with the false flag, if you understand what I'm saying. So if you're all worshipping the false flag, then we don't exist. It's like, duh. So here is the 8 of spring. This is divine masculine underneath, right? The bee finds the flower. This is a natural occurrence. And this is like, there is something such as in the ocean. It only happens when the moon is at a certain phase. And it only happens annually. And the algae of the ocean spawn, and it's massive, and it's all lit up, like it's all fluorescent, and it's a spectacular event that happens underwater, only at a certain time. So that's what the enemy is doing, stopping the vibration of these magical events. However, it can't stop this one. The bee will find the flower if the flower is blossoming. I just had this tree out the front with just totally, like God was showing me how there's a certain timing. When the wattle blossomed, this tree is covered in bees, like you can hear them swarming. And then the blossoms fell to the ground and all the bees were on the ground. And that's when I realized I was standing in the middle of it, talking to a friend. And I was like, oh, there's a few bees here. And I just couldn't believe my bravery. I just walked straight out. The dog was there. He was there with his dog. And he just went, oh, yeah, and walked out. And I thought, wow, I looked back and they were covered in wattled blossoms and bees on every blossom. So they still had nectar in them, even though they'd fallen off the tree. It was amazing. And then 2 days later, gone completely. That's why God said it's timing. There are certain timings, right, where the atmosphere is correct, when the sun is at the highest vibration, when you're singing your soul song. And before I came on, God was like, if your heart is still holding resentment, the song's not clear, because a song for your beloved comes from your heart. So you're out of, what do they call it? When you tune it in, you're out of tune. So he can't hear your call. But it looks like he heard it. It looks like he heard it. That's why it was really important for Divine Feminine to be the flower. Like the flower doesn't get up and go and find the bee. All right, Bella, all right. Birds and bees, hey, birds and bees. So here he comes in. Once he's awakened fully, right, the action is no problem to this divine masculine, this emperor. Action doesn't, it's okay. It's just he's got to get it clear. Where am I going? This is putting the destination in the GPS over here. And then he's got everything is saying it's time. It's like a clock was set and he's ready to move forward. So he's just going on total faith. But it feels so right. This emperor has never felt so aligned before. You know, clear. I don't know how to describe it. It's the beginning of a new emotional experience. It may be the first blush. Is it? Blush of romantic love. Oh. The rebirth of a current relationship, or the awakening of spiritual gifts and insights. Look at that. It's the Ace of Cups. Here it's Ace of Summer. And the dove is peace, the peace dove. The Holy Spirit is represented, the Shekinah. Something's written. I just heard. For it is written. What's written, Father? No man can part asunder. Let's have a look here at the Love Oracle. This is just a beautiful collective reading I'm bringing for you. So this is Divine Feminine, High Priestess and the Moon, chilled out, waiting for the cycles. You understand. This is also moon frequency, moon bathing. Very magnetic to your Emperor. So what's coming down here is that's being cleared. That's like, it's brand new. That's like putting all your clothes out and going shopping, getting all new clothes. Sorry, that would be nice. Like brand new wardrobe. And then here you are going, I have got my outfits ready for every season. It's like you've passed through every season. That's the wreath I saw before. And this has created the, like, so again, the flower sends out the message. It's when the flower's ready. So let's have a look here. The Love Oracle, we've got the 5 of Spring above awakening. Can you see that? So we want to know a little bit about, this is Divine Masculine. Sorry about that. So that would be the 5 of Wands. That's an inner battle with an ego problem. Stop it. Stop it. Gives him a bit of a headache because he's got to be right. So this might be giving, he's awakening to giving up. It's like, I'd rather be happy than right. Oh, look what flipped over. I'd rather be happy than right. Is that the awakening? Let's have a little snapshot here for the next 8 hours, right? We're coming in really close. This is micro land. And we're coming in really close to this Emperor. And we're seeing the time is right. The coral have spawned, right? The flowers have are ready for pollination. You go, you kidding? This was all timed? Why didn't you tell me that 10 years ago, Bella? Well, so this is this. Here, look. So this is you, Divine Feminine, in your dream state. Picking up the vibration. Get ready. I've been waking up singing that song. People get ready. Jesus is coming. That's all I keep hearing is people get ready. Get ready. Are you ready? It's like, well, I will get ready now. I'm sort of moping around about what I've lost, but if you think it's better ahead, Father, I'll get ready. And then you're like, so how am I getting ready? He goes, just sit still. You're like, that doesn't make sense. No, you don't understand, Father. Jesus comes in going, are you telling Father that he doesn't understand? I was like, what? He said, that's mental illness, Bella. I'm like, oh, I'm mentally ill. Father, help me. And this is where this transformation here, that you've faced your demons, Divine Feminine. You've gone into the anxiety until you can't think anymore, until you think, I'm on the edge, I just don't want to do this. How dare this not happen? And then you're at peace. Something's happening. So all that anguish, all that anxiety is also picked up from other people. Remember, you're being projected upon, but this is where you've changed the vibration. So it's like a battle of your vibration. If you think of your gold mesh shield, right, it's getting pushed against closer to you and you're pushing it out further. And this is saying here that you've pushed it out far enough to receive without any interference your new blueprint. And this has like caused this in your masculine. I think that's funny. Sorry. So this is the past soulmate. I'm going to read it as I know it. Right, the karmic soulmate. There was somebody in here trying to pull you back down. I can see somebody, like the vision is pulling you down by the feet. It's like you're nearly at the top. You've got your hands over the top of the mountain, and they're pulling your legs down. And this was an epic struggle because you were scared. And this tested your belief because, like, doesn't anybody love me? And then you're up on the top. You're on the plateau now. See? You're on the plateau transformed. So you realize, wow, this went into survival. This is like when you're dealing with a narcissist. where you have to go, it's self-preservation. It's not how I wanted it to go. I wanted us both at the top. But you were ready to pull me down, like not even to get up there yourself. So bye. Like, it's a tough lesson, but it happens really quickly. You know, you can be with somebody for years and years and years, and then that type of energy happens, and it's bam. And this can happen in your family, and this has happened to both of you, to kickstart you out of there, to get you back to the 0 point, to end those karmic cycles. That's what transforms you. And now that has no power over you. There's no fear of that actually occurring in your union in the future. Is that correct? You have to speak it out. So it's about communication, decreeing, declaring, right? Bringing down your desire. You have to know what you want. Yes, you want it aligned with God's will for your life. But here is about, if you're looking at what we were doing before, divine feminine, divine masculine on the right. We're going to do that. See, it's manifesting. This is your shared energy here. The transformation. Divine masculine had to go to battle with himself, with his own ego, with his own fear of what if he got you and lost you. Like, if he got you and lost you, that fear cannot exist in peaceful union. So you have to clear it out first. Like, this type of energy is the opposite of the other type of energy where it's the honeymoon phase, and then 10 years later you go, what? You were doing what? This is like, we find it out straight away. And then that's why we go into forgiveness, so then it doesn't exist in the future. But the devil will trick you to think that this person is this and this and this. You don't have to worry about that, as long as you know what you deserve, that you're standing in what is yours by divine right. And that's what you're doing here. And this is why it's manifesting very quickly. It's been activated. The bee has been, the bee. This is the energy or the people around you. Got to give it time. Some bees are asleep, right? And wake the bees up. They only got a certain amount of time. There's a certain window of opportunity, right? This is it. Once it closes, see, it opens here at the 0 point, and then it closes here. It's not long. You're holding it, the gate open for this divine masculine. So don't try too hard. Don't worry about the exes. They weren't good enough. They couldn't. I'm saying they weren't good enough as in they didn't have it to give you. They didn't have enough. Right? They couldn't afford you, God said. You know, like, they didn't have a lot of integrity. Their whole intention was to trick you. I'm also seeing like bait and switch. I've been seeing this for a while. And there's like, come this way. There's 2 kids riding down. One's even got a tricycle. Anyway, it's going down the road, and you'll follow the little girl following the boy, and he goes, let's go this way, and she's going down the road on her bike after him. And then just before the end, he turns left, and I was like, and then the vision stops, and I get it all the time. I'm like, so what happens to her father? He goes, it's a dead end. I'm like, yeah, but does she go over the cliff? Is there a cliff? He's like, stop. What do you mean a cliff? I'm like, oh, that's just me and my mental illness, father. So don't worry, it's just a dead end. I'm like, oh, okay. So they follow me. Where? To the dead end. And then they're gone, and you're sitting in a dead end. So that can relate to you in your emotions, where you get led on and then they dump you, or they ghost you, or they act like, you know, the love bomber because they're hiding. If they're extra, read all about it to you, it's so that you will not see what's behind them. Do you know what I mean? It's like the juggler, isn't it? Fancy me seeing the live juggler in the park. I was like, are you trying to tell me something? Couldn't believe it. So this is nurturing the bonds of friendship. This is getting to know the new you. Like, this masculine's a new person. He's like, I was totally asleep. I was totally being in 2 minds about this. I just did my head in. And I go, oh yeah. He goes, yeah, until I went into my heart. And I thought, I've never seen anything so beautiful. It's not too good to be true. Sorry. And the outcome, we've got here friendship. Oh, let's do a little extension on the old friendship. Manifesting friendship by speaking your truth. This is his flame is lit. There's nothing you can do until his flame is lit, till he's awakened. Otherwise, he's totally asleep. It's like the bee isn't going to fly over to you if he's asleep. And that has happened because this is you, Divine Feminine. You've been clearing out your soul, karmic soulmates. They're the part of your play. You've got to actually, you know, stand up to every line in the play, every character in the play. You have to speak your lines, and then you get out of the Bronx. Oh, no offense to the Bronx. I've never been there. And I loved Fame, so I'd love it there. But you're going to, like, Hollywood. Not in our sense, but, you know, the stage is set. Once you clear these out. Now, I've told you before that Soulmate Reiki has helped me. I had 9 in a row. And then in this last cycle, right, there's been 6. But I identified them the first time around. Then the 6, I cleared 3, and then 6 came back with severe warfare. Like, what happened is, this is why you had to give it time here, right? That's why I'm explaining this. Because these karmics, once they're told, you have to wait. You have to step back and you have to wait for their energy to come back on them and, you know, and all that. So that's what we did in the eclipse and everything. But this Divine Masculine here is seeing everything from a totally different perspective. Like he's going, that's friendship. Somebody had my back. And I blew it. I gave it away. That's what I'm hearing. I gave away. Friendship's hard to find. He's thinking to himself, this is what the headbutting is. What did I do that for? Boom. This is where my friend used to say to me, take your gloves off, Bella, because you beat yourself up. So this is Divine Masculine beating himself up. But it had to take a little bit of that to crack the nut, if you like. And he cracked the nut. He actually has come up against himself. And he's like, wow, I was an idiot. This is everything. This is all the ingredients. If you look at like passion, friendship, somebody who's got your back, somebody who wants to manifest and build things, he's not used to that. So he's had to transform here. This is the shared energy. He's had to transform because he's been able to be the King of Swords. He's been able to compartmentalize emotions. And with you, it's all there together. There's passion, there's love, there's friendship, there's truth. And he didn't give it honor because he didn't feel like he deserved it. Now, that's a big thing to overcome if you've got a huge ego. You've done this here. You sat here saying no to this trying to come back. Oh, my gosh, stop it. So here, you've been very good. And that's why you were told to keep still. Because the devil prowls day and night. It's called devouring you, wants to devour you, the enemy. Once you get through this, the path ahead doesn't have all that in it. But how many people give up through lack of faith? Oh, far out. Okay, we're going to do a little Rider-Waite Tarot. And this is just giving some details for you around the Divine Masculine, and he's headbutting himself. And in the wall, anyway, he was like, no, I'm not going, no, I'm not telling you, no. I'm not telling. Go, what? What aren't you telling? And this is the other thing I pick up here, right? When you're the high priestess like this, whether you know it or not, people who have things to hide, that have guilt, will act out because they think that you know. Like I had to say to somebody, listen, mate, I'm not reading you. I mean, you have to pay me for that. I don't just go around reading people. So I don't know what you've done. So stop being like, you know, like weird. Weird. That's how you know, wow, what are they hiding? It's got nothing to do with you, Divine Feminine. But in your presence, they think you can see it. If you're a professional reader or healer, then you go, no, I don't. You learn to open and close your energy. And that's what's really important. Otherwise, you will be reading everybody all the time. And that can make you sick. Sick. So you've learned a lot. You've come through a lot, and you'll really learn a lot about, following your instincts. What is an instinct? What are my clairs? How does this feel? Doesn't matter my feelings. I have to override my logic. When I'm grounded and I'm asking for signs, it will come through your primary clair. It's like, excuse me, is there a divine feminine in the house? You're like, oh, would the real divine masculine please step forward? Take your boots off, mate. Can't stand shoes in the house. Look, my emperor. I'm not telling you. It's like, oh, yeah, what aren't you telling? Go on, tell me. Oh, I love you. Oh, I'm not telling you that. This is this masculine. This is this headbutting stuff. It's like, what am I going to do? After all that, going, I love you. I'm not going to do that. But I do. I love her. I feel love. I think I feel love. Sort of otherworldly. This guy goes off into dreamland. Like he lays back with his hand on his chest and goes, ah. He's never done that stuff before. That's like seeing the emperor, right, in a daydream with a smile on his face. He's catching himself doing something. What's going on here? Why am I doing that? Get focused, like slapping himself in the face. Get focused, back to work. What are you doing? This is all this because it's from the feminine energy. Do you know what I mean? It's like, it's green, won't get any greener, mate. It's at the traffic lights. Beep, beep, beep. He's like, far out. I got to get my stuff together. He gets out, pulls over, gets out of the car, and he walks over to get a coffee. And the lady at the thing, the name's got a tag on it, and it's your name. He's like, oh my gosh, I can't get away from her. And then he hears that you're being yelled out. Can you imagine? And then he goes, oh my gosh, there she is. Is that her getting out of the car? So then he turns around and he goes, I'm losing it. I'm going crazy. This is too much. I have to go and ring it. I have to do, this is what causes the awakening. Like weird stuff, like he's never experienced before. Like he'll see you and then see like it's not you, it's somebody else. But he really saw your face. Oh my gosh, trying to run away from it. Look, this is not logical. Where am I going? Am I going crazy? What the freak's going on here? Oh, I need to be with her, just to see her, to kiss her lips. Sorry. What if she has somebody else? This is his anxiety attack. This is the 5 of Wands again. I'll fight them all off. I don't even know how to fight. Well, I'll get somebody else who does know how to fight. Because I'm the emperor. What if she doesn't want me? What if she chooses one of them? That's what happened to me in high school. The guy came in and took my girl. I didn't even go and bash him up. He wanted to bash me up, and he took my girl. This is divine masculine. Sorry. Having a bit of a therapy session. What if she does that to me? I was punishing her for doing that to me. Oh, this is what he's realizing. He was punishing you for what happened to him in the past. Look at that. Is he sorry? Yeah, it's illuminated now. Oh, that wasn't you. That was my childhood. Well, have a list of needs and deal breakers. Would you like to sit down? It's you. He's like, oh, here we go. Here we go again. So the 9 of Wands, I don't know why I'm laughing, but it's underneath the 5 of Wands. So now he's realizing that's an echo from his past. That's trauma that was imprinted. And he tried to put it on you, but you're like, cleared that. It's just like water off a duck's back here. So his tricks in the past of how he did that to hide, right? We're hiding here. We're hiding our emotions. We're not talking about it. He's done this in the past, a trick over here. So the best thing to avoid this is to go, look over here. Instead of looking here, look over here. Like look away. That didn't work with you because you're like, Don't tell me to look away, mate. I can see straight through that. So I'll just wait here until your uncomfortableness disappears, because I got the memo. That's made him uneasy. And look at the cycle. We've gone from High Priestess Moon there. Remember, that's the High Priestess Moon when you see it in the sky. To the full moon. That's been a huge cycle for Divine Feminine. And you know what? When you think about it, every cycle of the moon, there is a death and a rebirth. We go through it. So there's a certain part of the cycle, the moon cycle with the Divine Feminine womb where this becomes a sacred. There's only 3 or 4 days. That's why we had to be still, and then they're here. These are the days. Oh, the High Priestess again, the High Priestess Moon. So you will get another chance. This is saying another chance. If it doesn't come through, you get to go again to the next High Priestess Moon. So this Divine Masculine is cutting through trauma. He's realizing he put his trauma on you. That's epic. I mean, this guy could even be a bit of a counselor. Like, he's good with words. He's a good communicator. He can articulate things like people. So this is why this is what they call the yin and the yang, because it's like you can imaginate. I'm making up words. You can imagine, and he can bring it into reality. You connect to the spiritual, making sure it's in alignment and integrity with the divine will, and he acts it out down here, and he's ready, right? Because he was a student. It's like this was an apprenticeship, and he's now understanding that, oh, you can actually have different energy you can work with. You could have love. Maybe if love came in, he thought the whole world would collapse. His empire would collapse. He'd lose out. Love wrecks everything. That maybe was a memory code in there. Oh, no, my mum and dad said they loved each other and that was just horrific, or whatever. You know, whatever. So this is what was clearing. And how could I even trust them, right? Because I can't even trust myself over here. I lied to myself. That's the battle. I worked with a guy called Jim Rowan in a company, a health company, and he was our motivational speaker. And another guy, Larry Thompson, they used to say that. They used to go, people will lie to themselves. You say, mate, you can lie to me, lie to your mum, lie to your dad, lie to your dog, lie to your daughter, but don't lie to yourself. This is like, don't lie to yourself. Tell yourself the truth. And when you're stuck in the matrix and in that nature nurtures narcissistic paradigm, you can lie to yourself. And we've done it here, broken free of it because of the abuse. You have to disassociate. You have to lie. You have to pretend that's not happening. But this is a clear pathway. This is all clear. That's all that trauma lifted. And you only do it through crying, really. You can only release it from your body and then having forgiveness. So this Divine Masculine here, this Emperor over here, it's like, okay, that probably would be better. Instead of everything would fall to the ground if I open up my heart, he's realizing now that that sabotaged himself. He lied to himself because love is all there is. And he made the wrong decision here. But that's how he knows. So what he's learning here is the indecision is toxic. But as soon as you make a decision and you're going on the path that doesn't work for you, you're going to know straight away, 30 seconds. So you go, oh, oops, making the wrong decision. Oh, you can come back and change your mind. So this is about somebody being brought up in a very strict environment where you can't change your mind. You've got to stick to your word. Once you say it, that's it for life. And he's like realizing here, like, oh, if I didn't say no to this, I wouldn't have realized this. I wouldn't have realized how hard-headed I was and how I was lying to myself about who I do love. You know? So then this is the revelation. Love. Love, love, love. So he's gone, oh gosh, I'm going to have to clear out some stuff that's not of love. Hope she waits for me. She is a bit of an angel. I'm just slow though. I do everything slow. I'm a slow man. So, but once I do it, he doesn't want to go back. So he's clearing, right? He's clearing stuff out, like literally. I'm seeing stuff out of a house, seeing the clearing of like a tool shed, a garage. Maybe he's not leaving, but he's clearing everything out. So there's no past memories. So this is saying here that this is divinely guided for him. He's never done anything like this before. But he's cleared out, if you would think about it as of a home, he's cleared out his home of any memories of the past to invite you over. Oh, look! Imagine going to his house, if you haven't already, Divine Feminine. He's cooking your dinner here. I think you're laughing the whole time. Especially if you held on to this. Especially if you knew it was going to happen as the High Priestess. And if you just visualize that, it has to come about. What an awesome reading. You know, it's hard because this is a battle. That's the conditioning of how things, you know, what we've seen, how we've seen love demonstrated, what we believe about love, what we believe about it's possible for us. It's all got to be shattered, new paradigms. And this is what's happening. That's why it felt so like nothing's happening. Like nothing's happening. It's really quiet. And even God says, oh, I was just asking. In the Bible it does say, and it was quiet for about half an hour. That's what we've been through, this quiet time. And it is going to be quiet soon in half an hour. I think that's when Archangel Michael, they're at battle now. Like this, there's a battle going on. A war, if you like, in the spiritual realms. Michael keeps showing me. They're battling. The Draconians are also there. They're the lizard people. They've got their king here set up on earth. Like we need to activate and integrate and anchor to the next level. And that's why union is occurring now. This is time. Everything's set. The stage is set for the union. It was a battle of the minds of lying to yourself. And that's not your fault. That's conditioning. That's how the whole place is set up, to set you up to go into a metaverse where you will seek death and find it. Does anybody know the other name for metaverse in our social media? Does anybody know what that's called, the metaverse? Anyway, breaking free from the metaverse, not being controlled by the paradigms around you of false belief systems, breaking free of even false religious beliefs. This is about beliefs about himself, who I am. So if you're always believing that, you know, and you've got a critical parent telling you you'll never amount to anything, and then you get these catastrophic women, I'm hearing, that show you this is how women are, then there's no wonder he thought that that's how you were until it wasn't you. So then he had to go back and look at himself. Most men won't do that. Then if you haven't healed, you go into the addiction. And like this is the enemy. He's like, what would you like? I've got a smorgasbord over here. You're going, oh, well, I don't dislike one. I like to have 2 or 3 addictions. It's like, go for it. Let me go and try to make some more for you. It's like we're kidding if we don't have an addiction. So this is also an addiction that he's broken, and it's a negative thought process of who he is, because I'm no longer that person that you project onto me. Like I'm no longer a supply of yours. This is huge. This is also a breakaway for him with siblings. And you can see how when he's got that negative energy around him as his mother and his sister, well, no wonder then he chooses a karmic like that. And this is him seeing that, going, wow, it's all the same friggin' demon. And that's really positive. I know it hurts and it's a breakdown of sorts, but you have to have the breakdown to have the breakthrough. And this has created the positive outcome. The Holy Spirit is giving a message now to the collective here. Your manifestation is coming into reality. Believe in my Jesus. Believe in yourself, trust your instincts and follow your heart. For in doing so, you shall manifest all your heart's desires. Wow. This life you have so long aspired to create will soon manifest. So this is an activation of the heart chakra here, the awakening of feelings, the awakening of emotions on a really strong level. So how do I handle that? So this would be like a divine masculine, you know, allowing the grief to come to the surface once he realizes, like, I've been lying to myself. So therefore the grief can well up at any time. You don't want it at the board meeting. But this masculine's like, well, if it happens at the board meeting, I'll just excuse myself. I'm human. Like he's integrating his awakening into his life. So then he realizes that if I have to call myself out or say, you know, dismiss myself from certain people because I'm going to have a bit of a cry, or the emotions are welling up so much that if I don't cry it out, then anger pursues. And then that gets pushed down, and then what surfaces if anger's pushed down? What do you think happens there? What? It comes up as depression. So this isn't depression, this is anger. Because the heart's opened, it must be angry because it hasn't felt love. No one's loved me. Where's love been? You do get angry. You go, love only comes from your creator. It's not here. You go, aw, don't trick me. I thought that was love, you know. Your dreams are set to become a reality. This is a time of positive thought processes, Divine Feminine. You do not have the luxury of a negative thought at the moment. It's a wondrous time of healing. The coral is spawning. I'm going to get a picture of that for you. And positive transformation. Embrace life each moment and keep focused on your dreams. What? What'd you say? Knock at the door, the phone rings, there's a pop-up email, your messages are here. You're like, what happened? What was that? Oh, focus on my, what? Dreams? I don't even know what they are. What is your dream? How do you want it to be? Give me the perfect day. Give me the perfect scenario. Where's the setting? What's the theme? Who are you with? How are you feeling? What are you dressed like? This is about creative visualization is the most powerful manifestation in this time frame. And then you've got to back it up with feelings of gratitude as though you've already got it. So for you to do that, then anything not of gratitude has to come up, like anger. And we think, oh no, I don't want to be angry. No man can be angry, and then they can't cry either. So they've got to walk around depressed, choosing which addiction they would like. Come on now. And then we're going, oh, he's got an addiction. Or I think my kid's ADD. It's like, that's normal. In the Matrix, you have to. Otherwise, you have to heal the trauma. So this is an anchoring of the dream process of like, I don't know what's going to happen, but I am not going to the past. And how I want it to be, you say, well, I don't even know. And then when you get something, give the feeling of gratitude that you've already received it. This is high creative visualization in this time frame. Because all you've ever wished for, even those which seemed a distant dream, are about to manifest. Retain the purity of your vision and you will draw success to you. The enemy can't touch you now. Can't touch you. You're out of the fire, you didn't get burned. You're like, ah! Embrace life each moment and keep focused on your dreams. It's a wondrous time of healing and positive transformation. And you got transformation in those other cards. So that's you, Divine Feminine. And that lines perfectly there, doesn't it? There's a positive outcome and a manifestation coming through. You know, you can't go into the garden, this is what we talk about when you plant the seed of a manifestation. And then you go, look, Mom, I put all these seeds in the garden. She's like, where? Where are they? Oh, I put a few over here. Well, show me. Dig them up and show me. You got to prove it to me. That's a scrub turkey in your garden. Why do you think people put the wire over it? You go, I don't have to prove to you that I planted them. I planted them. I'm going to water them and they're going to take root, germinate and grow. And then I'll show you. So then it doesn't matter. You can't come and dig them up because they're already blossoming. And that's when you see the jealousy. And you go, oh, I used to tell them too soon. And they come in and wreck it. You go, yeah, what am I thinking about planting a garden for anyway? Let's go down the pub. Oh, let's go down the pub. Divine Masculine, relax. I doubt it. Get to work. What do you mean relax, Father? Sorry, Bella's having a bit of a moment. Relax. What? You will accomplish more by focusing on on that which is most important in life, love. Who's this daydreaming guy? He's totally daydreaming. He's building a house. He's got a swing out the back. He's got a little river down the thing. Oh, he's going there. He's there. So he's getting it from you. He's picking up your dream. And then he'll come in and he'll actually speak it into reality. Is that correct? Yeah, expression. He's going to speak your dream into reality. So he's picking it up. That's how you'll know it's him. He's going to say, well, actually, I thought about having a swing out the back. You're like, and then he makes the exact one that you saw in your dream and your vision. I'm just picking something, you know. So get as much detail as possible. Like you can't even afford to answer the phone at the moment. And he's relaxing, picking up your vibration. Isn't that amazing? Once he's had his little headbutt with himself and going, what was I doing? Then expression comes in. You're both going to express yourself. This is speaking your truth, which is back to me. This is how I experienced you. Right? And I didn't work for me. So this is what I need to keep my flame lit. I need somebody I don't have to look behind my back. I know they've got my back. So I need to feel that 110%, and that's my first priority. So how are you going to do that, Divine Masculine? He goes, well, I don't know. I'll be your best friend. Now, how are you going to do that? He goes, by being my own best friend. I'm like, oh, hallelujah. And he's going to tell you. I'm going to read it here. I'll read it like this. Express how you feel clearly, lovingly, and honestly, without fear or judgment. You know, this is also about without an outcome, without even thinking about the outcome, just being in the present moment and speaking. Because as you speak, you are creating. It's abracadabra. That's why the whole time of being in silence, that's all coming down to manifest. As you speak, you're decreeing it, you're declaring it. Abracadabra means what we speak, we create. So we say it exactly like it is, right? You can't have any of those leeches on you. You can't have any of them. No. He goes, oh, can't I just keep 1 or 2 leeches? Like, are you listening or not? I'm going to pour metho over your whole body and then you won't have any of them. He's like, oh, metho? Well, that says say it exactly as it is. See that? It's a bit like that. All will heal when you express to others how you truly feel. Trust in the power of life to guide you and heal all concerned. Self-expression is liberating and healing. So this is saying once this is out of this Divine Masculine's mouth, you know when you speak things out, you sort of stand in it, and then you either anchor it or you say, Control, Alt, Delete, cancel, clear, delete, that's not what I want, and bring in what you do want. But you don't know it until you speak it out. So you can speak it out knowing that you can change your mind in 5 seconds because you're going to know. Your intuition will tell you. It doesn't even take that long. If you speak something out like, I want to do this, this, and this, and it doesn't fit you, the energy sort of goes down. You can hear it in somebody's voice. They go, oh, yeah. I thought we'd get together and... Are you mumbling? I can't stand mumbling. Go away. Like this is saying there's no mumbling here. Right? This is like Divine Masculine saying, teach me how to love you. I know you want integrity. I know you want your best friend. I know you want to know that somebody's got your back and that will never leave you. How am I going to prove that to you? Give me some advice here. Give me some sound advice, some techniques, some, action plan that I can actually do. You're like, oh, so unromantic, Divine Masculine. I have to tell you. Freaking buy me flowers on Thursday. I don't know. I used to think that. So unromantic. But how amazing. Showing up for the job and he's saying, I just want to get it perfect. I want to do the right thing. So I don't want to start and then have to change. I want you to tell me. What could I do to make you feel more loved? What can I do, say, or think to nurture you, to make you realize that I'm your best friend. Do you have anything, Divine Feminine? It's not easy. Got to sit in silence for that one. You go, well, actually, I feel the most loved, right, when I don't have to question in my intuition where you are or what you're doing. He goes, cool, so how would I help you do that? Is there anything I could do that could reassure you? See, some people, like, honestly, some people are very different in their communication style. So you have to tell this Divine Master, he's not going to know. Between you and I, we're different. Some women love the reassuring text message. Like if you haven't text messaged me at lunchtime, where are you? Right? I'm the opposite. I can't stand that. I'm like, see you at this time and text me if there's anything different. Do you know what I mean? So there's different styles. So you'd have to say to this Divine Masculine, you can send me a text, right, in mid-afternoon to just say you love me and that, you know, you're thinking of me. That would make me feel really warm in the heart. He goes, oh, I could make her feel warm in the heart by sending her, I miss you in the afternoon. Tick. Then apparently the feminine's going to say, is there anything I can do to help you keep that text message, right? And then the masculine goes, yeah, why don't you text me and remind me to send you the text message? That's where I'm like, no. Why don't you put a time, an alarm on and remind yourself? He goes, oh, I never thought of that. Thanks so much. You're like, wow. That's how you build the relationship. And then you see his actions because you just told him that matters to you, right? Or you could be the opposite, going, don't text me, what's for dinner? Don't ever text that because I'll be out when you get home. Right, good to know. Another female would be like, he doesn't even ask me what we're doing for dinner tonight. Another female would love that. Am I making any sense here? So it's just not being shy in how you want to feel. And then sometimes he'll come around with what Jesus is saying. If you have faith as a grain of mustard seed, have you seen how small they are? You shall say unto this mountain, which is your problem in life, or your obstacle, remove hence to yonder place, and it shall remove. If you have faith, so you don't give it any energy. You don't speak about it, you declare it gone, and then speak on what you want. That's why we learnt spelling was our first thing. We cast spells. And you know what? I'm going to share something with you. Watch and pray that you enter not into temptation. That's easy now for Divine Masculine. He understands. He doesn't want that. So empty. What was I going to tell them, Father? Remove hence to yonder place, and it shall move. There's another one where it goes, you could tell the mountain to throw itself into the sea. I love that one. So you tell your problem to throw itself into the sea. Yeah, so this is saying I'm not going to give any energy to problems, right? If my salvation is assured and my Heavenly Father loved me so much that he paid for all my sins, I'm sure he can figure this deal out. So I'm going to get out of the way. He tests your faith, doesn't he? And then while you're waiting in your faith here, temptation comes in. You go, oh, I've been so hungry and that ice cream looks so good. It's like, no, you've got to get soul food. Bella, not ice cream food. What? See, that's a temptation even, because food can take you off track. I've forgotten what I was going to say here. Anyway, we got a message from Yeshua HaMashiach. Your faith hath saved you. Go in peace. That's you, Divine Feminine. You should be very proud of yourself. You know, you went into the fire, though. You had to have the guts to go in there. That's the faith. Because you went in there. Divine Masculine from Jesus. Blessed are they that hear the word of God and keep it. Whoa. he's hearing the word of God? Is that what you're saying? Jesus says, no, I'm saying the ones that do hear it are blessed. And then they've got to keep it. Right. Divine Masculine's done something. He's followed his intuition here. He's followed his guidance. He's chosen. Look, he's chosen. The little boy. Little boy blue. Can you believe that? I don't have even 2 decks of these, but I did go to a few events, like at Hay House and with Doreen, and you got extra cards. Can you believe that? So that's Divine Feminine, the faith. Divine Masculine has heard his guidance. He's hearing from his Heavenly Father. And look, that's healed his inner child. And he knows that you're the blessing. Look at this. Watching the children. That's Divine Feminine, Divine Masculine healing. The abuse from childhood. And finding peace and love. And then finding each other. Anything else? Let not your heart be troubled, neither let it be afraid. Again, it's the inner child. So I'm just going to say a shout out here to look after your children in this time. We know the draconians feed on the children. I can't believe that's double trouble. You're going to get double for your trouble, I just heard. You're going to get double. Watch your children, especially around the Texas area. Right? They're also saying that spaceships are coming and taking people and they're coming back with black eyes. How disgustamundo. They're wanting the children. They're hungry. They feed on a product called adrenochrome. We need to wake up because 30 children went missing in Ohio. And we're here to pray over them, to look after them, and to hold them in a frequency of support covered in the blood of Yeshua. I love you. Thank you so much for being here. It's been a great reading. You're a great collective. And this is your time of the coral spawning, the bee, to find the flower. Be still, flower, and know that God's watching and Divine Masculine's listening to God. Hallelujah. Look at all the masculines awakening. They're ready. They're going off to find their feminines. So blossom where you are planted. God bless you in magical, wonderful ways. Thank you for being here, your kind donations, likes, subscribes. And thank you for blessing me at PayPal and buying me a coffee. I've had a few blessings. And also for supporting me at the extensions. They're amazing. We have 44 extensions there. They're a journey. You can buy the whole lot and purchase them only for the next couple of, probably the next 10 days. And then they're off market. But we're going into the 44th reading. It's going to be epic. So if you can join us there and get the extensions, buy the whole lot, or at the members lounge to find out the plans of the 7-fold plan of getting to New Earth for the twin flames. That's happening at the members lounge right here on the channel. So otherwise I'll see you in the next reading. Thank you, and leave a comment if this resonated you in any way. Thanks for watching.